When I'm driving up to a shoot, especially a sunrise, the main thing going through my mind is that I'm never quite sure what I'm going to get. So am I going to get the mist I've envisaged? But I'm always looking at where the cloud is and what the cloud's going to do and how it's going to react when the sun rises. Many years ago, what really got me into photography was my granddad, and he always used to be shooting on a film, an Olympus film camera, and I always used to ask him questions and wonder how it was done. And when he passed away, the camera ended up with me. And then when I went to university in the late 1990s, I used it to shoot film as part of my degree. And since then, I've never looked back. In terms of the creative process, I have a good, clear idea in mind of exactly what I want when I go out the door. But two things will determine what I actually take. And the first one is the weather and the conditions and the light and where the clouds position. And the second one, especially at sunset, is people. And if there are any people in frame or I've got to work around. So sometimes I like to just shoot a little bit ad hoc as the sort of opportunity occurs. I would say that I'm a methodical perfectionist, although being a landscape photographer, the latter is very difficult because the weather conditions you're at the mercy of. But I spend a lot of time planning on where to park, where to walk. I often visit the location beforehand to take a few sort of shots on my phone just as reference points. So yeah, I would say that I'm a methodical perfectionist. Apart from the obvious, the stunning views, what inspires me about Dartmoor is the fact that you can have 4 seasons in one day. We're currently in the middle of summertime and I've had to dress up this one because the wind is absolutely blowing through us. But it's the challenge, and it's the challenge that inspires me. Where and when to take pictures on Dartmoor is difficult because I learnt through trial and error. And I've learnt through visiting places and taking little what I call recce shots with my camera phone, trying to frame up some compositions. The challenges for taking a landscape photograph on Dartmoor are, one, composition. It's difficult. Although it's really beautiful for perhaps the tourists that come down, it's difficult for photographers to compose a really meaningful shot. And secondly, the conditions. For example, earlier on, a few hours ago, beautiful summer's day, now it's absolutely freezing. So it's being prepared for the unexpected. I don't think I could actually pick one photograph that's my favourite. For me, it's the story behind them, and obviously the people out there don't see that bit, they just see the finished image. One of my favourites was taken on Dartmoor, which is on the sort of western edge of Dartmoor, simply because all the elements came together. Compositionally, it was a challenge, but everything happened all at that magic moment, maybe 15 minutes before sunset. What I try and communicate in my photographs of Dartmoor is the mood. I would rather go out in wintry conditions or stormy, moody conditions. I feel it suits the nature of the landscape. For example, Belstone and Dartmoor, really love that. Dartmoor and Dartmoor. So anywhere that has got the sort of exposed, rugged landscape in view. I'm hoping through my photography that I've allowed people to feel the isolation, the ruggedness, the sheer beauty of Dartmoor, but not just on a summer's day like today. I put a lot of time and effort into photography for the personal reward for me. I love being out and I love to capture those special moments. Sometimes, pretty much every time can never be repeated because of the light and the conditions you get. I've been very lucky since then to go on and publish a book and write for various magazines, but I never started out with that to be the sole intention. My favourite time of the day to take photographs obviously is the golden hour. I would say probably the most rewarding is sunrise. You never quite know what you're going to get. Dartmoor has got so much to offer people visiting the area. I mean, you've got local towns, villages, you've got little gift shops, you've got a lot of artists around the area, and not just artists as in photographers and painters, sculptors. You've got lots of various tourist attractions around, and obviously you've got the stunning views, and there's some wonderful restaurants dotted all the way around and little coffee shops as well. If you're new to photography or you want to really seriously get into landscape photography, there's no better place than Dartmoor because it really sharpens up your composition and the light consistently changing, and I would recommend it. It's made me the photographer I am today.